This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 1628, Single versus Double Kettlebell Training by Leija of ericleija.com, and I'm Dr. Neil. Hey there, happy Tuesday, and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I simply read to you from the best health and fitness blogs for free. And on Fridays, that's where I answer your questions. You can send in your question by going to oldpodcast.com/ask, or you can email your question directly to health@oldpodcast.com. All right, with that, let's jump right in and hear today's article and continue optimizing your life. Single versus Double Kettlebell Training by Leija of ericleija.com. One heavy kettlebell or two lighter ones? Or two heavy ones? Does it matter? If you're diving into kettlebell training this year, these are natural and relevant questions. Here, I'll break down whether one option is quote-unquote better for your training and what differences you can expect during single and double kettlebell movements. Single versus double kettlebell training. Is one style better? One of the key differences between single kettlebell training and double kettlebell training comes down to the effect on your core. Now, make no mistake, working with two kettlebells definitely works your core, simply due to the nature of the asymmetrical weight of the kettlebell itself. As they shift in your hands, your core muscles, which are more than just your abs, they actually wrap around your torso, chest, hips, and glutes, those muscles tighten in order to stabilize your body so that you don't lose your balance. Working with one kettlebell at a time, however, takes this up a notch. Now, all of the weight is on one side of your body, so the opposite side of your core has to work in order to keep you upright. This is awesome because these muscles are often underdeveloped, either from not training or from only training in one plane of movement with stabilized weights, like, say, heavy squats on a machine. That's because the machine does most of the stabilizing. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean single kettlebell training is better than double. It simply means that if you switch to one, you may get more stabilization effects. One way that pure single kettlebell training may not be as valuable is during heavy ballistic style exercises as a beginner. During ballistic exercises like swings, cleans, high pulls, and snatches, your body requires that core stabilization we spoke of earlier. If this isn't developed because you're a beginner, you could risk pulling something out of alignment, like your back, by trying to make a go at it using a heavy single bell. In this case, if you have heavy bells, you can work on developing overall core stabilization and strength using two bells to become accustomed to the movement before moving on to trying with a single bell, since the pull on your core will be less, but it will still be worked. If you're working with a lighter weight, you can obviously start trying out these moves, but for safety's sake, you always want to make sure your body is stable enough to handle them and their weight. Versatility. Another variable to consider is your intention and workout program, whether it's your own or if you're following one. There are literally hundreds of kettlebell movements, and some require only a single bell, while some require two bells. You want to make sure you know what movements you intend to perfect and utilize the most, so that you have what you need. This is why I recommend, if you have the budget and space, you get a good, heavier set, meaning two kettlebells, and perhaps one lighter bell for high rep work so that you have options. When investing in two kettlebells is a win. Obviously, if you're just starting out, you might opt to stick with one kettlebell of a specific weight. Now, there's nothing wrong with this, and obviously it isn't an end-all be-all, considering you can simply grab another when you need to. But keep in mind that the weight you start with will eventually become too light to work with, especially if gaining strength is your goal. However, if you choose to grab two kettlebells of the same weight, you can combine them to immediately create a heavier load. In this case, doubling up can give you more weight and more time before you go heavier. You can still work core stabilization with two kettlebells and even without kettlebells, so take that into account as well. The bottom line. Both single and double kettlebell training offer epic body-wide benefits and targeting. Single kettlebell training may offer more core stabilization challenges due to the asymmetrical nature of holding one weight. You can use 2 kettlebells to increase weight and load for things like squats and deadlifts, extending the life of lighter bells before you grow out of them. Starting out with ballistic exercises like cleans, snatches, etc., using 2 kettlebells instead of 1 can reduce risk of injury as you build the movement memory and core stabilization required to perform these with a single bell. And one form of training is not better than the other. They simply offer different benefits at different times. You just listened to the post titled Single versus Double Kettlebell Training by Eric Leija of ericleija.com. You deserve a fresh start in all parts of your life, even at work. Take your team to the next level with a hiring partner that makes it simple to find candidates with the right skills. That's Indeed. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites hoping to find candidates with the right skills, you need one powerful hiring partner that can help you do it all. Indeed is the only job site where you're guaranteed to find quality applications that meet your must-have requirements, or else you don't pay. I love that Indeed makes hiring all in one place so easy. With Instant Match, over 90% of employers get quality candidates as soon as they sponsor their job post, according to Indeed data. Start hiring right now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/health. Offer valid through March 31st. Go to Indeed.com/health to claim your $75 credit before March 31st. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Dr. Neal here for my commentary. Training with kettlebells is such a different experience than, say, training with dumbbells or barbells. Let's say you don't have access to kettlebells. Is there a substitute for them? Unfortunately, there is no perfect substitute, but a traditional dumbbell is probably your best bet. Now, as Eric mentioned in today's article, a kettlebell is unique because of the way its weight is distributed. Picture what a dumbbell looks like. You've got 2 bells separated by a bar in the middle. This creates an even distribution of weight. But a kettlebell is only 1 bell, and you hold it just by using 1 handle from the top. This makes it more challenging to move around. But the good news is, if you want to perform some kettlebell-type exercises and you don't have access to any, it's not the end of the world. You could substitute a dumbbell instead. Just know it probably won't behave exactly like a kettlebell would, and you're going to have to hold the dumbbell a little bit differently so that it more closely mimics a kettlebell. All right, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening every day. I hope you're having a great week so far, and I'll see you back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.